Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it's time for the Q&A, so let's go ahead and knock this out. All right, first question. Hello coach, what is the most optimal routine to achieve your 100, 200, 300, 400, 500 strength standards? And for the unaware, that means a weighted pull-up or chin-up with 100 pounds of weights on it, 200-pound press, 300-pound bench, 400 squat, 500 deadlift. Those are a strength standard I set. For those who follow me, you know why those strength standards are set and specifically what they mean. We're not going to get into all that here. As far as reaching those, there isn't going to be an optimal routine. It's going to be what's the optimal routine for you. That's going to vary depending on where you are in your training, your lifestyle, work capacity, recovery, diet, sleep, everything. Here's what I'm going to say. Can you get most of the way there on a 3-day-a-week full body program? Yep. Can you do it with very modest periodization? Yep. Now, does that mean everyone is going to be able to reach those goals off of that style of training? No, absolutely not. People who are very genetically gifted will hit every single one of those. Let me state this again. The genetically gifted will hit all 5 of those standards on nothing more than a slow, linear progression, full body 3-day-a-week program. Now, if that makes you guys feel bad about your genetics, that's the reality. The genetic freaks could follow that program. They could follow my ice cream fitness program and hit those numbers. How's that for reality? I've seen guys run 5.31 and hit all 5 of those numbers, running the basic templates. You know, it's going to depend on you as a person. Here's what I would say. Most of you at some point, to reach those numbers, if you are not genetically gifted, you may need a little bit of a training split. You may need a little bit of programming. You might need some concurrent periodization to reach those. You might need to actually run a 4-day-a-week linear block periodization program to reach those. Let's just be honest here. Those are pretty tough overall standards, mainly with that pull-up thrown in. That's what makes it so hard. Anyone can reach these. In fact, anyone who's willing to get fat can hit the other 4. Like if you're willing to bulk up to 25 or 30% body fat, you can hit those other 4 easy on a basic full body program 3-day-a-week. It's that pull-up that makes it hard. This body composition matters, and you can't just eat your way to the bigger lifts anymore. So here's what I would say. Run a good full body program 3 days a week to get yourself, if you're blessed, you can get there 100% of the way there pretty easily off that. But let's say you get 80% there, 90% there, and then you need to change to something else. That's fine. Run some linear periodization, run some concurrent periodization. You may have to go to a 4-day-a-week program. You may have to go to a upper, lower, or push-pull 4-day-a-week program with either concurrent periodization, linear periodization. You might even find Bulgarian training useful for getting there. You know what? It needs to be based around your lifestyle, your work capacity, and what you can personally tolerate and what sort of time frames you're looking at. All right, next question. Permission to replace barbell rows with chin or pull-up in the Ice Cream Fitness 5x5. I don't know if I put the video up yet or not. I made a video specifically explaining, and I'm sorry guys, I get backtracked. Like, these are coming up on Sunday, but I'm filming these on Wednesday right now. I literally have uploaded videos when I go back and look that are filmed 9, 10, 11 days before I upload them. So I assume I've uploaded it already. I made a video explaining why I believe rows are more important for novices than pull-ups early on. So here's your problem. Rows are a foundational lift for a novice. I don't think you can remove rows for the novice lifter, right? Particularly with lower deadlift volume. Furthermore, my novice program, the Ice Cream Fitness 5x5, already has both in it. In other words, you already have chin-ups in there, right? Go watch the original video. Don't just read the write-ups. You guys need to understand 2 different websites paid me to let them put the program up. Now, before people start contacting them, they're not going to take them down. They already paid me for them. They paid for the rights to put those up. They've already invested their money. They're not going to take those down because I'm not giving them their money back, and they know that. So, yeah, I've been paid for those to be put up and hosted. Like, I've actually made thousands of dollars off that program. It's ridiculous. But that being said, don't just read the write-ups. Go watch the actual video the way I break it down. Pull-ups, or more importantly, chin-ups and rows are already in the program. They're already in it. The curls are there for people who aren't strong enough to do chin-ups yet, right? But one of the days has pull-ups instead of curls. So factor that in when you're looking at the program. Go read it. Don't just look at the write-ups. All right, next question. Hey Jason, I'm doing concurrent training where on heavy days I ramp up to a top heavy triple, and on volume days I do 8 times 2 to 3, start with a 8x2 at around 80% and keep adding 1 rep to each set until I eventually get to 8x3. Then add weight and start on 8x2 again. And it's working pretty well. Actually, I like that. So far, however, I was thinking of doing 5x2 to 3 instead of 8x2 to 3. Same rep range and progression pattern, just 5 sets instead of 8. Simply because it would take less time. Do you think that it would be too low a volume? I know I could just reduce sets and increase reps to keep the volume higher while being more time efficient at the same time, but I honestly prefer low reps, even on volume days, not to mention they're superior for technique mastering. Yep, it's all about getting those first reps, isn't it? That is critical to mastering technique. High volume doubles and triples is one of the single most valuable tools you will ever have for mastering form. That's why my 10x3 stuff, I called it lift mastery. All right, here's a problem we get to. You're talking about getting less time in the gym. Well, the moment you start saying things like, man, I need to get out of the gym sooner, concurrent periodization is not for you. I've actually made multiple videos on concurrent periodization that have probably not been uploaded at the time of these Q&As. I'm a big believer in concurrent periodization for serious lifters. People who followed me know that. A lot of times my full body stuff 3-day a week is for people in cutting phases who are serious lifters, or for people who are just trying to base build, right? People who are just trying to get to a 500-pound deadlift and get jacked. I'm a big advocate of concurrent periodization. I have run it numerous times myself. I have run it numerous times over the decades. All right, I believe in concurrent periodization, and people who follow my channel long term know that, and they know that I used it not that long ago again. They know I'm going to use it again. You guys forget that. I was running concurrent periodization for several months before the Bulgarian training. Now, here's the point. Concurrent periodization is not for people who don't have free time. In other words, if you're not willing to dedicate more time to the gym, it's the worst training method you could use. People say, what? Why? Because the whole point of concurrent periodization is allowing for more total weekly training volume through multiple rep ranges while still recovering from it and balancing the training. That is the beauty of it, is that it allows you to spend more gym time, slightly more work, while balancing recovery to optimize performance between sessions. So usually concurrent periodization usually lets you either add more total sets, or it lets you add an extra workout every week. So I'm going to say, when you start saying, okay, it's time to do this because I can get out of the gym faster, no, that's not going to work. It's not going to work. Also, you already have a lower volume day. You have the heavy day. You're ramping to a max triple, and you usually do a few triples. Like, for example, for me, when I'm doing max triples instead of max singles on concurrent periodization, I'll do 3x3s and stuff like that for the back off work. Sometimes even 5x3s for accessory movements. That is your max effort day. That is your heavy day. Your volume days, even though you might be doing 8 sets of really low reps, that's your volume. You can't afford to cut that down. Well, what's going to be the difference in your training? That's no longer going to be concurrent periodization. Because I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to be going heavier than 80%. If you start cutting down to 5x3, you're going to be at 85%, 86%. You're getting borderline back to just max effort with moderate volume again. You're not going to get the full hypertrophic benefits of the 7 or 8 sets or up to 10 sets, right? You're not going to get the same training volume. You're not going to get everything to balance the same. You know, if you're wanting to do that, you might as well just go over to Bulgarian training, because you're going to be just training heavy 4+ days a week. That's what you're doing at that point. It's not going to work. You need to keep the volume high on those volume days and focus on the intensity on the others. Now, whether you choose to do it with high volume doubles or triples, or you tend to do repetition type method, it's going to be up to you with your own programming. But I'm gonna tell you, no, you don't need to do what you're planning on doing. You need to keep that volume up. You need to keep that volume up if you're going to do triples and doubles. Do not cut down to 5. That's borderline what your accessory work should be looking like on your max effort days. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time in part 2.